live on YouTube. Great. Okay, so with that, we'll get started and we'll do our flag salute.
Yep.
So I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the United
United
States
States of America, to the
to the
republic
republic for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, liberty and
Liberty.
justice
justice for all.
for all.
Great. Okay, everyone. It is a little after 5. I'm calling to order the planning board meeting. It's January 25th, 2022. We have on the Zoom meeting, Megan Toy, Nat Brown, Ronald Reed, Larry Perrine, and Neil Slevin, our alternate. We also have Kathy Eisman from Nelson Pope Voorhees and Harry Fornaris. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Harry's filling in for Liz Vale today. She's switched law firms, but as part of that process, has to get, I think, conflict letters, or I don't know exactly what to call that, but things in order before she can re-engage as our village attorney for the planning board. So with that being said, the first item on the agenda is approving the minutes from the last meeting. So if I could get a motion to approve those minutes
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, so carried. Thank you. The next item is a discussion item. And it's Jacqueline Jeffrey, 3 Hillside Drive West. I see her on Zoom. And it's to discuss a proposed lot line subdivision.
Yes.
So, hi, Ms. Jeffrey.
Hi.
We were going to talk to you last time, but I think you weren't available. So here we are. And our understanding was that you're the owner at 3 Hillside Drive West in the village.
No, my mother
And-
is the owner and she gave me authorization to represent her in this.
Okay. Okay. So Kathy took a look. Kathy's our consultant at the lot. And my understanding is that in order for you to subdivide this lot, or your mother to subdivide it, Ms. Jeffrey, that there would need to be significant variances. And so I don't know if you understand, but currently I think the lot size is 22,000 square feet. Is that correct, Kathy? So if
22,034, yes, that's correct.
okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
the
22
minimum
What was that? 22?
22,034 is the current lot size. The minimum required lot size in the village of Sag Harbor is 20,000 feet. So if you were to try to subdivide this lot, and forgive me if I'm explaining this too simply, but you would have 2 substandard lot sizes, meaning both lots would be below the 20,000 minimum required in the village. You would require significant variances to be able to try to accomplish this. And it's the opinion generally of the planning board would not support subdividing your lot or your mother's lot into 2 what would then be considered non-conforming lots. So that's
I guess
pretty
my
much.
question is, if the minimum requirement to build is 20,000 and this lot is 22,000, why does it become 2 separate lots?
Well, if you're subdividing a lot, you're taking one lot, making it 2, or in some cases, you would
Okay,
make a lot
let me
into more than 2. In this case, since a lot is 22,000 feet, even if you divided them equally, you would still have 2. You would have 2 approximately 11,000 square foot lots.
Are
And
we talking about lots 3 and 4 together being 22,000 square feet?
Yes, I can share my screen so that
yeah,
way.
Kathy
everybody
will
can
share the
see.
screen.
Heather, can you allow me to
Okay, I
share?
thought that, but there's a house on one of the lots. And at the time the house was purchased, the other lot next to it was a buildable lot that the original owner purchased and never built on. So I guess that begs the question, are you saying that back when the house was built, it was built on an 11,000 square foot lot?
That's probably about right. This is the submission that shows what I am presuming is the filed lots, the original subdivision map that has this lot 3 that you refer to and lot 4. And the
Okay.
house is constructed on the portion of the lot that is shown as lot 4 here.
Right,
But the entirety of that lot, that's where the house is on the, I guess, on the northeastern side.
Right.
The entire lot, though, is 22,034 square feet, if I'm reading that correctly.
oh,
So this is all open space. It looks like it's a buildable lot. At one point, it may have been, but at this point, the zoning code requires that 20,000 square feet minimum.
well, if I had known that before, I probably wouldn't have taken up your time.
Okay.
Well,
I
that's-
just knew at the time it was purchased, it was a buildable lot, so I thought it might still be considered a buildable lot. Okay,
yeah, so that's,
guess that answers that question.
okay.
Thank
But yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for
Yeah.
your time.
Okay, I can jump off and leave you to your
Okay,
meeting.
yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Ms. Jeffrey. Thanks so much. Okay,
Good night.
bye. Okay, so moving along, we have the next item on the agenda, which is the 37 John Street and 12 West Henry Street. And it's it's not a continued public hearing, just to clarify. I don't know why that's on the agenda, but we closed the public hearing at the last meeting. Kathy and I reviewed the minutes to make sure that was accurate. So at this point, what we need to do is have a vote to approve a conditional final subdivision map. Or is that right, Kathy?
A minor subdivision conditional approval. They'll still have to come back with their final map that shows the meets and bounds of the newly configured lots. They have to go to the health department for approval. There's a number of conditions that are, kind of standard conditions for minor subdivision.
Okay. And we have that drafted. Kathy, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone at this point have any questions about this before we vote for that conditional approval? Okay. So with that being said, can I get a motion to vote to approve this conditional approval of this minor subdivision for 37 John and 12 West Henry Street?
Yep, so moved.
And a second?
Second.
And then all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Okay. Thank you. Then we have an item that in theory we were gonna add to the agenda, which is 23 Suffolk Street. But I don't know, Kathy, do we need the applicant to be on the?
We don't. Actually, I spoke with Laura Kelly, and she actually had sent me an email asking, when it could be on the agenda. And I did let her know that I reviewed the submission and that everything was in order as far as scheduling a public hearing. So if the planning board's comfortable with that, we can schedule that public hearing, and then we'll hear from the applicant at the February meeting. They'll present the application and get us up to date.
Okay, and just Kathy, could you just quickly catch everyone up on where we are with this?
Sure. So this was a modification, a lot line modification, a very small area to actually make a parcel more regular. Actually, I can bring that map up too. I'll do that. So the property fronts on Suffolk Street, Amity Street, and Concord Street. Lot 1 is on Amity Street, and the lot actually kind of juts into the lot that's on Suffolk Street instead of continuing straight in a straight line. And so the proposal was to transfer, I think it's 471 square feet, very small area, to the Suffolk Street property. Originally, they were proposing to have a garage on facing Concord Street, but because that would have made the total lot coverage increase, and we didn't have enough information. We had asked the applicant to add all of the existing improvements to show what the total lot coverage was. So they did that. And the zoning board basically looked at it and said, we're fine with the lot line modification, but we don't want you to increase the non-conforming conditions for total lot coverage. So they are no longer proposing the garage, and they're actually taking a sliver of the patio off on lot 1. So that will be conforming. And those were the conditions of the zoning board of appeals. So that they've made those changes to the map, sent it back to the planning board, and now the planning board's role is to actually vote on the lot line modification. But they approved the variances that were required for area.
Great. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about that?
I kind of do.
Okay.
I know I don't know a lot of stuff, guys, but I'm learning, and I'm just confused about why this 23 Suffolk Street is taking it. Like, I guess the lot on Concord Street, it was already merged into 23 Suffolk, and now is it like an agreement that comes between the property owner of 23 and the property owner of 9 Amity? Is that like how this has come into an application? Like, 2 residents have come to an agreement and now they're presenting it to the board? Is that what's happening?
That's correct. It is actually, it's almost like a joint application. It is
Actually, just because I know the properties, because I live on Suffolk Street and Concord Street, it's the same owner. I don't know how they've divvied up the ownership, but it is one person who owns both properties.
One person owns 9 Amity and 23 Suffolk.
Correct.
Okay, so that's like
So
potential
my suspicion has
development. No,
it frankly, when I looked at it and I knew right away what he was doing, well, I didn't know the story about the garage, but I thought to myself, geez, that guy must just like straight lines. That's all that seems to be going on here. But yeah, no, this is a very simple change that is, I get, Kathy, if you can give us can you think of any other rationale?
I mean, the making of lot 1 smaller is always a concern. If it were going to allow additional development on the site and actually making it smaller, but they're already maxed out. So they're not going to be able to build anymore. And in fact, the zoning board made them take a part of the patio off to make sure that they conform to the lot coverage.
Right.
So.
okay. I understand better now. Thank you.
Great. Yeah,
No, absolutely.
fair enough.
You asked an unknowable question, basically.
All right, so then what we would do is schedule this for public hearing for the next meeting. So if I could get a vote or a motion, please.
Motion.
So moved.
Okay, we got one and we got Ronald seconding.
Seconding. Yeah,
Terrific.
second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Okay. All right. So the next meeting is February the 22nd. We're going to stick with our 5 start time. And with that being said, if I could get a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Okay, so moved.
And a second?
Second.
Second from Nat. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried. All right. Thank you guys all so much. I appreciate it.
Very much.
It's not a record meeting length, but it was good. Succinct. All right. And thanks everyone else for being on the Zoom, and I'll see you guys next month.
Okay,
Thank you, Kay.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.